North and east from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And add into that, temperatures in a lot of places get to around 8. A hot night on the debate stage as 9 Democratic candidates squared off with former Governor Andrew Cuomo, currently leading in the polls, drawing much of the fire.
I regret the state of the Democratic Party is that we elected Trump.
No regrets when it comes to cutting Medicaid or health care. No regrets when it comes to cutting child care. No regrets when it comes to slow-walking PPE and vaccinations in the season of COVID to black and brown communities. Yeah. Really, no regrets. No regrets.
Council Speaker Adrienne there leading the attack on Cuomo. The NBC moderators also pressed him on his handling of COVID.
Just the question is, were you involved in the producing of that report? It's just a yes or no question.
I was very aware of the report. I spoke to it at press conferences.
No, before it was released, Mr. Cuomo, the question is about the production of the report. Okay, we're going to move on. We're not getting an answer. We're not going to
stand by the report.
Okay, so whether or not you were. Let's move on.
Now today, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is said to make her endorsement. She's said to throw support to Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani. He's been running second to Cuomo in recent polls. The mayoral primary is Tuesday, June 24th. Incumbent Mayor Adams is running as an independent. The Israeli army has retrieved the bodies of 2 more hostages from Gaza.
Israeli forces recovered the bodies of 2 Israeli-American hostages in a special operation in Gaza. The army says Judy Weinstein and Gad Haggai were killed by Palestinian gunmen at their kibbutz on October 7th, 2023, and their bodies were taken to Gaza. 56 hostages remain in Gaza, of whom around 20 are believed to be alive.
Correspondent Robert Berger in Jerusalem. Judy Weinstein Haggai was born in New York. She taught English to special needs children. Gad Haggai was a retired chef and jazz musician. Both were in their 70s. Trump administration is turning up the heat on Columbia University as officials try to yank the school's accreditation over concerns about anti-Semitic protests. The U.S. Department of Education calls the Middle Commission for Higher Education a non-governmental accreditation group. The Columbia is violating the Civil Rights Act because it's failing to protect Jewish students from harassment. In a statement, Columbia says it's aware of the concerns and has addressed them directly with the accreditation group, adding that they're deeply committed to fighting anti-Semitism on campus. There's been no response so far from the commission. Losing accreditation could cut off students' access to federal grants and loans. It is 67 degrees right now. We are going up to 89 today in Midtown. Wind is at 626. Now, Bloomberg Money Watch. Here's Denise Pellegrini.
Good morning, Kathleen. DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats are settling a lawsuit against New York City over that 15% cap the city imposes on meal delivery services and what they can charge restaurants. Now the delivery services have agreed to drop their challenge to the cap once the city makes changes to the law imposed during the pandemic to help struggling local restaurants. Stock futures right now, they are higher this Thursday morning. Dow futures up 53, S&P futures up 6, NASDAQ futures up 30. And you know how it is when you get off a late night plane, Kathleen, and you kind of wish you could just take a shower right there and go to sleep someplace really nice right there at the airport. Well, affluent vacationers and business travelers are now paying the big bucks to stay at luxury hotels right there in airports just before or after their flights, according to the Wall Street Journal. And the Old Grand Hyatt inside the Terminal D at Dallas-Fort Worth among those getting a major multi-million-dollar makeover to tap into this rising demand. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Denise Pellegrini for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Now this message, immigration concerns, call Bar-A-Law, 646-894-5900.
I vote to protect our communities.
No regrets when it comes to cutting Medicaid or health care. No regrets when it comes to cutting child care. No regrets when it comes to slow-walking PPE and vaccinations in the season of COVID to black and brown communities. Really, no regrets. No regrets.
And this is really how Adams has tried to attack Cuomo before. You know, Cuomo disputes these facts, but this was probably the biggest audience for her. And given that her poll numbers seem to be rising, it was interesting to see if, after this debate, if any of those attacks moved the needle.
In 2021, we saw a little alliance between Democrat Andrew Yang, who came out in support of Catherine Garcia. Any signal of possible alliances from the candidates projected on the debate stage?
Not on the debate stage, Michael. In fact, they were all asked who they would rank as their number 2, and that was the only issue where they were in total agreement. No one was revealing their number 2.
What kind of reaction has there been so far, Bridget?
Well, as we know, it's a little early to get out there and talk to voters, but all candidates are claiming victory, and there is some big news this morning. Progressive stalwart Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez announced her endorsement in the New York Times. She is backing Mamdani, not surprisingly, as her number one, and Speaker Adrienne Adams as her number two. This was a long-awaited endorsement, given AOC's ability to really galvanize grassroots support. She stressed the need for a real working-class coalition, including Black voters like those who make up the heart of Adams' base in her home turf of Southeast Queens. But Cuomo, for his part, is also touting an endorsement reported by the Jewish Insider that leaders of the far Rockaway Jewish Alliance are urging voters to back him. The Jewish Insider describes the group as an influential Orthodox coalition, and that's a big deal for Cuomo. This is a potential block of voters, and this is a group that took issue with some of the COVID-era policies, so it signals that they potentially move beyond that, so a lot more to come here.
WNYC's Bridget Bergen, another debate next Thursday, June 12th. And Bridget, once again, ooh-wee, thank you.
You're very welcome. WNYC is supported by Shepherd Mullen, serving clients in Manhattan for over 20 years. With more than globally, Shepherd Mullen helps companies address today's needs.
President Trump signed an executive order banning folks from 12 countries, mostly in Africa and the Middle East, from coming into the U.S., while partially restricting entries from 7 others.
The reason for this is
as a warning to the Kings County GOP. How hot is that, Noam?
That's already very hot, yeah.
Stop the BS. I know politics is a dirty game. I've been and currently am in the middle of just about every major race. But the attacks directed at Dina Vernikov are way over the top. Now I'm pissed. Yeah, that's right.